Everybody, welcome again. We are here with a panelist, Dr. NGANGA, who is a lecturer and a consultant clinical psychologist. Last time we talked about the COVID-19 effect, more so the general impact it has on the families as such. And we had good time, and I'm sure we all benefited quite a lot. Today we want to narrow down to the same effect on the family relationship, teenagers and young adults. Welcome, Dr. NGANGA. Now, when we talk about teenagers and young adults, what do you have in mind? What age bracket are we talking about?
When we are looking at the teenagers, we will have to go a little bit down because we are going to consider those who are emerging adolescents from age 9. And perhaps stretch it up to age 18. Mm-hmm. And then discuss or describe the young adults from age 19 all the way to age 24.
Aha, those are the young adults. Yes. And do I understand possibly that what you have in mind is those who are still in, so shall we say, in their parents' or hands, who need their parents, and they are being supported by the family. People who have not been able to stand on their own. Mm-hmm.
This category of home are those that are either in college, in high school, or perhaps they are just in the higher levels of primary education.
Yes.
But are actively at home right now due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And what are their needs? What do they need from their parents?
Oh yes, they really need love and support, especially during moments like now when there's a lot of change that is going on in their body, change that is happening in their own lives. They need a lot of support and love and care. In order to keep this relationship at home, it is important that we involve them and observe them on ordinary activities in the family as we help them grow.
Thank you, Dr. NGANGA. You could possibly enlighten us on something to do with their physical and emotional changes at this age. What are they going through?
Around this time, particularly for the teenagers and the adolescents, they are now developing their secondary sexual characteristics. They are emerging from the childhood and behaviors and appearances, and they are now taking the form of a young adult. So their body muscles are growing and their shape is now changing. For the girls, they are taking a more circular, beautiful body. The boys are becoming more muscular. Their voice is breaking.
With their broken voices.
Yes, and their beards now started appearing. For the girls, we see the breasts and a beautiful round shape. So this is a very, very difficult moment for them. One, they do not know what is happening to them. They see the change, yes. But at least they understand of the emotional and the biological changes that are going on.
Oh, yes.
Around this time.
And they are aware of these changes?
Yes, because it is visible. Most of the changes are visible. Some of them have started seeing their menses for the girls at age 9. The boys able to get wet dreams, so to say. And this gets them very excited and very confused.
And so how does that affect them emotionally? These are physical changes.
Yeah, these changes tend to have, make them very moody at times. And they can appear to be very uncooperative because they have a lot that they need to understand or to catch up with in terms of their physical and biological changes that are going on in the body. And at times they are scared to ask because they think it is some sort of abnormality. And particularly where we have families that are not very cohesive or they are not very supportive.
And also knowledgeable.
Exactly.
Yeah, a girl, here is a girl changing, here's a boy changing, and he could possibly expect some help from the father, from the mother, and it's not forthcoming because the mother is either scared or does not know what to say. or how to say it. Go on.
These are also very difficult moments because they will tend to get counsel or perhaps support from their peers.
Age mates.
Age mates. And at the same time, there are other adults who may try to take advantage of their situation.
Yes.
And since they do not have a lot of information and knowledge about themselves, but all they can see is that they are pretty and they are good and young and energetic.
Yes.
And they're happy about that, and especially when somebody appreciates that about them, they are likely to be swept off guard. And no wonder we are hearing of stories of over 4,000 girls being impregnated in 4
In
weeks.
one district. One district in 3 months?
3 months, exactly.
4,000, you said?
Indeed, a similar situation was noticed in a place called Sierra Leone when the Ebola outbreak was witnessed. After about a year or so, 50% of school-age girls did not go back to school because they had turned to be mothers. Boys had been converted to be men and workers and family men.
I hope this will not be the case with us, yeah?
The country almost lost a generation, in a schooling age generation because of the pandemic. And unless we are careful, we are not exceptional.
We could face the same problem.
The same situation.
Yes, because this case we have heard is just only one place with 4,000, one out of 47. So if this is the case elsewhere, if this is repeated, if we hear the same man, is a disaster, isn't it? And not only that, this is only 3 months, and we have 3 more months to go. Are we expecting another 4,000 girls to go down pregnant? Oh, Lord, have mercy upon us. Now, these are just the changes. Would you say that many of them are caught unaware by these changes, and so emotions, they cannot harness their emotions, they don't know what to do?
The natural clock that happens in the pituitary gland, that once we attain a certain age,
yes,
the body development starts changing. And unfortunately, it is not something that is physical. It's not something that you can feel. No. You just wake up and find, hey, things are changing.
A beard has come out.
My body is unproportionate. Sometimes we don't even like the shape that we are seeing. But over time, we grow to like it.
Oh.
So unless the youngsters are growing in a family that is supportive, that is going to guide them,
yes,
and that they are operating within an environment that is enabling them, it can be a big, big problem.
Oh, yeah.
And once things get messed up at this level, it will be difficult to correct.
It will be permanent for the rest of their lives. Deformity of a kind. You could say emotional deformity of a kind. All right. Thanks, Dr. Nganga. It certainly is a very challenging time, particularly to us parents, and even to these young teenagers and youth, or young adults, so to say. And this is terrible. Now, let's see, what can we do as the family positively in this relationship?
This time of development, especially at this stage,
yes,
one psychologist of old called Stanley G. Hall once said that this is a moment of storm and stress. They are going through a very stressful moment, getting into terms with the changes that are going on. A very stormy moment because they least understand what's happening, and because they're in between a grown-up and a child. So it's a moment that is not easily understood. This causes a lot of distress, even in the families, because you find some of them may be taken to be unruly, some of them may be carried away by peers, and a lot of challenges are witnessed, particularly now that the schools are closed for long sessions. The government is insisting that we are supposed to be at home.
Stay at home. Stay at home.
As a way of protecting us and keep spreading, prevent spreading the virus.
Yes.
But we are witnessing many young men and women out there in the streets.
And in groups, sometimes. Not even keeping the so-called social distance.
Not even using the PPEs, the protective personal
The masks. Yes.
So this makes the situation even more worrying.
How do you keep such young, energetic people indoor 3 months, 6 months, and still expect things to work out well? Very difficult. Continue, doctor.
This is where the challenge is, particularly for us parents.
Yes.
Because we have to come up very innovatively, be able to engage these young men and women at this stage in a lot of works at home. Some of them are being guided through the internet, where they are having some classes, but not all the time.
Those who are in school and learning institutions.
Exactly. So,
Yes.
since these youngsters are important that they may be engaged in supervised learning at home. If you leave them unattended, they will
Just float away.
they'll float away. They will lose it.
But do remember, doctor, even as you continue, that we still have a large number of them who left their Form 4. They have not gone to the higher institutions of learning. Here they are, and with those awaiting the exams, and on, all the way, you said, from age 9, who are still in primary school. See the whole bracket of them. And then here you are, and you're expected to contain them. You have 3 or 4 of them in the house with that kind of problem.
Referring to it as another pandemic, because we have people at various categories and stages in life that are not occupied, and when you have nothing to do, anything can be something.
An idle mind?
Is the devil's workshop.
An idle mind, yes.
Those poor children, particularly the young adults that are the ones that are
The younger ones.
at least for them to see that they are contributing positively to the family welfare and that they are significant, rather than just allowing them to go out there. Unless they are going out there to get some manual or kibarua jobs out there, which again would occupy them gainfully. But if they are not doing nothing, we would like to keep them from drugs and other mischief.
True.
By helping them stay at home. There's a lot we can do at home.
Or getting into a mess with the social media.
Exactly.
And all those other things. Okay, go on.
Some challenges that we have seen, particularly around this time around, when
Yes.
students are at home,
Yes.
and particularly those that are accessing the internet in one way or the other. After they have done their lessons, we are seeing a situation where they get themselves occupied with a lot of games and chatting, and some of them might even get into traps where they find themselves bullied in the internet, or they may end up bullying others. We are seeing situations where they have released a lot of information, and people are now preying on them. And we see a lot of behaviors that are presenting themselves. We've heard of cases where young men have committed suicide because they were pushed to do so by somebody out there in the virtual space, yet it's not a person that they have ever met.
Oh, they don't know. They don't know who he is.
Exactly.
The communication is on the net.
Yes.
Yes.
And some of the ways in which we can be able to control, especially cyber activities.
Yes.
Much as us parents may be busy in other areas, it is important that we invest time to find out what are they doing, or set rules and limitations. We can only access the net up to this period of time. It is also important that we have a keen interest,
Yes.
not so much as we are trying to pry over them, but get to understand what are the sites that he is seeing. Some of them could be pornographic, and they may be doing it because their bodies are kind of drawing them in that direction.
An attraction of a kind.
And we stand in a position to help them
Yes.
understand and teach and guide them. Why we are saying don't go here. Because it just ends up stimulating a person and leaves you in a state that you want to experiment and you want to try all sorts of things that you're seeing in the net. Another problem we see...
It could actually leave them worked up.
Yes.
Yes.
Some of them get to sites that will ask them to post their own photos in the nude. And they are displayed
Lord.
all over.
Yes.
It is so embarrassing to see your child
in that state.
In that state, and especially being broadcast the world over through the internet. So we need to be very close. Let's get to know even some of their friends whom they are chatting with. We can help them in one way or the other. They still need a lot of our support. But when we kind of present like we are ignorant or we fear this technology, we will lose our young men.
Dangerous, isn't it? Yeah. We stand to lose our youth, our young people. We stand to lose. Dr.
This is where emotional support is so much required. Process, they also develop a lot of intelligence that is not easily available out there. It is us in the family that we are going to nurture them.
Yes.
So for us parents who have these children at home, let's get close to them. Let's not get so worked up because of maybe they are spending so much bundles on these areas. Let's set limits, let's set rules, let's be involved in what they are doing, and let them know that we are not getting involved so that we can control them or perhaps think of them in the negative sense.
No,
but it's a way
to
of
help
helping
them.
Yes.
I'm glad you are watching. Let's see how we can help, because the cost could be permanent now, where the young person is lost and lost forever. Let's see what Doctor has to say about some of these. What are the avenues? What do we have open? Avenues we could use in keeping these young people with us.
The fight to get to reach them and perhaps have them with us is one that we have to struggle with their peers. But one young man one time noticed when he had been cornered after he had found himself in a lot of things, he declared and said that the most important thing in his life was his family. Friends are coming and going and leaving.
They come and go.
But the family is there and will stay there with them for a long, long time. One of the changes, one of the ways in which we can be able to help and remedy the situation is by first and foremost appreciating their station in life.
Yeah.
Station in life.
Station in life.
Yes, how they are changing, what are the unique situations that are going on. And since we have been there before, we can be able to help them.
It's a road we have walked.
Yes, we can walk with them.
Yes.
We can tell them it happens. This is normal. And this is the way you go about situations such as this one.
Yes.
It is also important that we build positive family relationships.
Yes.
When, especially during meal times, for example, there are moments we can be able to discuss.
When you are eating.
When we are eating.
Be that in the evening or any other time.
Yes.
That's the time, one avenue we can use.
And then the challenge with meal time is that time again is being television, by movies, by tablets, by telephone. So we have to set rules in the family. Put off the TV.
When we are eating, put that thing off.
The TV, the
Let's
mobile
talk.
phones, tablets,
Yes. It's
everything
time for us
should be
to
put
talk.
off, so that we can have a quality moment together and we'll be able to discuss issues, observe one another, and the like.
And also not just the TV,
Yes.
the phone. Yours, Daddy.
Yes.
Yours, Mommy.
Keep them aside.
Put off the phone. Put off that TV.
Yes.
Eat and talk. How was your day? What is this? What is happening here? What do you think of this? And
Going
on
in
and
your
on.
life.
Provoke some active, positive discussion and see what they are going through and see how you can help. Please.
Family outings. You know, this time of restrictions is very But walking together, the family. Just walk out. Have a round together. Talk. Don't matter what people will say about you, but you know what you're doing. You're investing in the quality moments of your family.
Even if you are not driving out, you still can walk some distance and talk as you walk.
Be able to notice those that are challenged in some of those exercises, and you can be able to help them out. Some may be lazy, they don't want, but just engage them. Let it look fun, and they'll soon catch up. There is where we are trying to take these people, because we are trying to win them to ourselves so that we can help them as they grow, which is very, very important.
Meal time, yes.
Yes, it is also family outings. The third one I would think about is about having a one-on-one chat with them.
One-on-one.
Yes.
You and your son,
Exactly.
you and your daughter, one-on-one.
Let us connect let us remind them, by the way, I have observed this. What do you say about it? The other day, I saw you chatting for long. What was the gist of the communication? You know, let's get to talk to these people.
Who are these people you chat to? On what?
What fun do you get in that? And they will open up and tell you, oh, Mom, we have been doing this or the other, but it's just sweet nothings and all that. And let them know sometimes they are taking so much time that would have been used in other important things.
Exactly.
Some of them are delaying in their assignments because they are occupied by those chats.
Utilize their time profitably.
Yes. The only way we can know of their challenges is when we have a one-on-one.
Yes.
We can also celebrate accomplishments. Appreciate what our youth, our young men have accomplished. It may be small, but be there. Sometimes it might even involve going for a performance where they are performing. Let them see you are there and feel like you are standing with them.
Yes.
Appreciate them by being even verbal and being, just hug them and show them, yes, that's an important feat that you have done.
Yes.
It is also good that we also share in their disappointments. When they lose,
Yes.
stand, be there for them. Give
True.
them emotional support. Let them know that, yes, sleeping is not falling. And tomorrow I wake up and move on. And I shall perhaps get the accolades. Let us get involved in their hobbies. We shall be able to know some of what are their interests and appreciate them.
I'm just thinking, going through my mind when you talk about accomplishments. Simple things like some calls, some things they do at home. Here is your son, your daughter, so to say, has made a special meal and comes in the evening during your meal and he says, "Iriotogederi," and with a dish, and you say, my, this is beautiful cooking. Who did this? And somebody speaks their pride. Yeah. Or the son, today I did. So son, you can also cook chapatis. That is an accomplishment. Some juice, blend some juice.
Yes, and you really appreciate that, even if it's not very tasty.
And your secondary school daughter doing some mokimo for you.
Yes.
This is an accomplishment. Yes. Any compliment, anything that you can say that would compliment and uplift their spirit.
Always look forward to the house.
Yes.
Home,
And to do that.
That is a place they feel appreciated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So accomplishment.
There's
Yes.
also family traditions.
Uh-huh.
And routines and rituals. Sometimes we may be having some activities that define our family. Maybe we play a card of games at night.
Yes, yes.
Or we have a tradition of going out some places, specifically maybe to watch a movie, or
Yes.
perhaps even watching movies in the home. Let's come up with something that will bring us together and there be able to share some things. We shall be able to observe certain manners and behaviors. Which
How
we
they
can
are
be able to
behaving.
correct at
Yes.
that time.
Yes, how they
And-
are behaving.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you will also know a person who is rash in doing things. Maybe when you're playing some games, some people might want to take advantage of
others.
Others might be very, very tricky, and we can be able to correct them at that time. Remember, we are shaping a person
Yes.
who is going to be the future leader tomorrow. And unless
They think of a game that may be common to some, the Monopoly.
Monopoly,
There are
yes.
some games at home, and there you are playing the game, and you can see this guy is not being very honest with the others, or even with me.
Yes.
So he's developing some cheating habits, and, and so on.
Or Scrabble, the one that they use with spelling,
And the spelling,
build-up
the English
words.
things, yes.
Some people just create their own words.
The words that are non-existent.
Exactly.
So this is the time you really can study the character, what he's developing. It may be fun, but it's fun that can turn out to be negative.
Another way we can be able to reach out to them and also make it more lively
Yes.
is by sharing out or giving out responsibilities, domestic chores. Let them do that. Let them feel like they are contributing something to the family.
He is useful in that
They are
family.
useful, exactly.
Yeah, he's not just a baggage.
Yeah.
There's something he does. And particularly if you know what he likes doing, let him do it.
It.
Yes.
Where he volunteers on something, appreciate that. If she wants to go shopping, to do the family shopping, to the market, to the supermarket,
Yes.
let them be involved.
Yes.
So that, they can feel like they have something useful they are contributing to the family. Another way of building positive relationship here is having
Just before you
family
come
roots.
to this, John,
Yes.
these family responsibilities,
Yes.
I think sometimes in our lives, you'll tend to see that the boys want to do certain things and the girls want to do some other things. But it's come to a lifestyle now that the boy is not just a person to sit and wait for chakula to be brought. You know, you could simply say, today we are having ugali. John, why don't you do the ugali for us while your sister is doing the sukuma wiki? And you know, or something like that. Or even assist in keeping the house clean, dishwashing, and so things like that.
In fact, in the family traditions of the Bible, they could even have moments. Boys and the father would surprise the family and say, we are going to prepare this.
Today is our day.
And the girls and the mothers would be doing the other.
We're doing that.
And then we bring the meal together. Let's have fun things that are going to help us. In the process, we teach our boys how to maybe prepare meat or even prepare ugali. Or make some chapatis, and the girls shall also be taught something else.
Exactly.
And we are going to build up and enhance a tradition.
And you know that ties up well with what you called family traditions.
Yes.
So we need to watch out about those. Some are negative, and they are not taking us anywhere. Continue, please, on the family rules.
The other is the family rules.
Yes.
Let us set limits and boundaries that will make our young men have a very predictable and a consistent way of living. Let's not have
As and when they want.
as and when they want.
Yes.
It's important that where I'm going, it should be known I'm going somewhere. He has taken his bicycle and he's riding to where?
Yes.
Only to be disturbed with telephone calls with anonymous callers, your son or your daughter. But let us know. I can be able to account for the movement of my son or my daughter once they leave home.
When he's out of here, I know where he is.
And he knows what time he should be back.
True.
Let's have very predictable ways of life. Remember, when they become adults and they get their own families,
Yes.
they will find some of these traditions to be helpful, some of these rules to be helpful, and will keep and enhance their families longer. Finally, it is important that we have a culture of having family meetings.
Yes.
Where we can sit down.
Could you call it kamukunji?
Exactly.
Family kamukunjis.
Yes, sit down, talk, listen to one another. People express their views. People give their feelings. And without judging one another, it is important that we do that.
There are disappointments and there are joys.
But as we do that as parents, it is also important that we explore our feelings and our emotions. Lest that if a person says he was angry, it doesn't mean that he's angry.
No.
Yeah, that you can now become emotional.
Just
Let us give
unhappy.
them time to vent
Express.
out and express themselves.
Exactly. Let out the steam.
Yes. And when all else fails, if we have tried to bring the family together and it's not possible, there's always an avenue of seeking help, professional help, either in the church,
Yes.
either from professional counselors,
Yes.
or from somebody who perhaps is your mentor. Bring in somebody to help bring this family together. Thank you very much.
Even prayer.
Excellent.
Yeah. Good time to pray. And if you are so timid, you can make your confessions and apologies as you pray. All right. Those are meetings. And also the extra support. We got people, you know somebody, you could call, and a friend in the family, you could call on to come and help. Say, this girl, there's something she is not saying. There's something I'm not happy about. This young man, there's something he is doing, I'm not so happy. So let's not let the children, the teenagers, the young adults run out of our hands. We still have a big job to do. And this is the godly assignment we have. Please, keep the family. It's time for them. It's time for us to unite and build strong families. See you next time.